Let's connect it up and welcome everybody. November 25th, 2018. Just go waiting for the chat to line up and people to join. Go in a minute early. Go for about an hour for tonight's episode of The Walking Dead, Season 9, Episode 8, theory discussion, spoilers, all that stuff. Just going to get some conversation, discussion, a bunch of information for it. And here we go, guys. So like I said, we're going to go for about an hour. Go from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Join us every Sunday for the foreseeable future for that. If I'm going to be out of town or doing something, I always let you know in my videos and on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. If you haven't already, join our Walking Dead or TWD Facebook community. We have a TWD community Facebook page and a group. A lot of good stuff going on there. So just waiting for everybody to join us for November 25th, 2018. Thank you guys for joining me. If you're watching it on the replay, obviously spoiler warning, it's in the thumbnail or the title, I should say. And I don't want to ruin anything for you guys, but I'm excited for just everything going. I'm excited for tonight's episode. How about you? As always, let us know in the top chat. Super chats are always welcome. Supporting the channel helps this channel go and grow as much as we can. So it's pretty cool stuff. I don't know what's going on here. Supporting the channel helps this channel go. We got a bunch of things going on for everything. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully everything connection stays well. So Thursday was Thanksgiving. If you celebrated, of course. Not everyone celebrates Thanksgiving here in the United States, but some people are outside the United States, and you guys are doing awesome joining me today. Sorry, a bunch of people joining right now. So welcome on there, too. Thank you, Janet, for my thoughts on the Daryl's vest theory. Some people have been talking about it. I thought I'd make a good video on there, too. And again, theories, discussion are always fun to talk about some things that you may agree with, you may not. Dylan, don't worry. We'll talk about episode 908 tonight. Who we may lose, who we will lose, and how it goes down. We have a couple pictures that we got online today, and I'm excited to find out if the rumors are true or the spoilers true. But tonight is the mid-season finale. That's going to be a big deal because it's the last episode of the first half of Season 9. We have 9 more episodes next year, so we'll probably come back in February, which is good and bad because we're getting along this season. I'm feeling like this season is flying by. I don't know about you, but I'm loving this season. I'm thinking that it's great. I think that it's we have a lot of fun talking about The Walking Dead, and I think Season 9 is great. I think it's a great thing for The Walking Dead to be good again because it's something to watch. People are going to love it, hate it, complain about it. That's just what people do. And I'm going to stick up for the channel myself and when I have an opinion on there too. So if you want to know about the episode, stay tuned. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about a couple other things. But like I said, Thursday was Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. If you celebrated it, I posted a video thanking everybody and having a good Thanksgiving as well. And then Black Friday came. We didn't really do any much shopping. We went to Target and stuff and bought a couple things. But way later in the day, we saw the movie Creed 2. Now, I don't want to give any spoilers for that. I definitely recommend it if you are a Creed boxing fan, Rocky movie fan. If you like the Rocky series and you like the first Creed, you'll like the second one for sure. Well, I hope you will. I can't speak for that. But a lot of good stuff is going on with that. And tonight, we got The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 8. So a lot of good questions are coming up, and I'll get to those in a second. But I'm interested to know what your questions are. So if you have them, periodically post them on there too, because I have some stuff I want to talk about. But also I want to talk about, just some topics, Walking Dead related and not. So hopefully you guys are excited for tonight. I'm liking the idea of the Season 9 mid-season finale. And usually they're pretty good. Episode 908 will probably roll right into episode 909. We're going to get a little cliffhanger at the end of the episode is what the word is. Again, these are potential spoilers, but I believe they're going to come true as they're highly likely to occur. The big thing that everybody's asking here about is Jesus. Will Paul Rovia die? The answer is, drum roll, yes. And that is a major deviation from the comic material. Again, Season 9 is jumping ahead, changing things, big things from the show to the comic and happening here too. So I'm not sure why Tom Paine is getting killed off on the show, But is it contract disputes? Does he not want to be on the show anymore? Is it for the writing? Is it for the show? I don't think killing Jesus is a good idea for the show. I don't think Paul Rovia, a lot of people don't even want to use his nickname on the show, and I can understand why. But is it a good idea to get rid of the character? I don't think so, because you kind of like him and Aaron and him running Hilltop potentially, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't understand why he's going to have to get killed for the sake of the story, but it looks to be that way. So what I recall from the spoilers, we have a whole spoiler video about it if you want to know more about that specifically on there. It's going to be, Hilltop. We're going to see Hilltop with Henry. Carol is going to have a problem with Michonne. Diane's going to have a problem with Michonne. Sadiq is on Michonne's side. Magna's group goes into Hilltop, and we're not sure how long they're going to stay. They got to wait for Jesus, but then, Jesus isn't going to come back, so it's going to be a big thing. Who's going to run Hilltop? Probably Tara. That would make sense. We'll see Alden. We'll see 3 new, I would say, teenagers that are going to be like the bullies, the troublemakers with Henry. Henry's going to be the apprentice for Earl, the blacksmith. The episode's going to be 64 minutes. I think it goes from 9 o'clock to 10:04. And then Talking Dead is from 10:04 to 11:04. I believe the guests are Robert Kirkman. I'm not sure who the other one is. And I believe a special guest, which I would make sense if it is Tom Payne. It would make sense for it. But we're going to see the Whispers. We'll see a Whisper in the first opening minutes, couple minutes of it. If you've seen it, you saw someone on there too. And then at the end, we'll see something there as well for the same Whisper, I believe. We're not sure it's there. A lot of people are interested if we're going to see Alpha, Beta, Lydia. I don't think we're going to see Beta. Pretty sure we're not going to see Alpha. And there's no word if Lydia is going to be there. I hope to see Lydia, but it might have to be the back half of season 9 where we see them. Does it make sense for the Whispers to come out little by little by little? Sure. We don't have to get everything. Beta is not going to kill Jesus is the word, even though a lot of people think that's going to happen because of the comic stuff. And, they fight. And later on in the series, after the Whisper of War, it's a whole big thing. And I don't want to give too much away with that. Definitely want to read the comics if you're interested in that too. Season 10 is in development. So is it greenlit? I hope so. I don't know any definite answers for it. I know that we're going to see some big things happening in the next half of season 9 into season 10. I would hope the Whisperer War would be happening in season 10 and how it carries forward with the movies and how stuff connects. Pretty awesome there too. So thank you guys for joining me on there too. Thank you guys for the good questions and the comments on there too. Andre, as I see here, Brian, was it a Whisper who was watching from the trees? I think so. We don't know when you saw Connie looking into the woods and she's seeing something, but she's not sure what it is. And we don't see anything, but we see somebody looking at Connie and Magna's group in the back of the transport. And then we also see a different camera angle with Carol and Daryl in that last week's episode. If you watch it, you can see a shot where it looks like someone's watching them. But either way, someone is clearly watching them. I believe it's a Whisper. It could be Dwight. It could be Sherry. I doubt that. But it could be Lydia. It could be a Scout Whisperer. But I just kind of wish we saw a little bit, or someone walked off, or it was something. I thought it'd be pretty cool to see for sure. So, our Paris Study 4, the AMC Instagram account confirmed Alpha by showing her comic self and show version. Well, good. I don't know if it's going to happen tonight or not. That would be pretty awesome. Alpha could come tonight, and I don't know if that's going to happen or what's going to exactly happen, but it's pretty awesome if we have that possibility for it. I know a lot of people are excited for the Whispers, and I am too, for sure. Ryan McCabe, what do you think will happen with the Whispers tonight? I think they're going to be introduced in a big way. We're going to see... There's a picture going around that's probably the end of the episode or towards the end of the episode, and it's going to be a little cliffhanger because we're going to have, something with the Whispers. Michonne will be there, Daryl, Aaron, and they'll see the mask, and they'll be like, what is this? What's going on with this? We're going to have a little remix, a little twist of the show, and Angela Kang said that. She did say that the Whispers will be a little different on the show than in the comics. Already different with the introduction with Rosita and Eugene. Rosita is going to be at Hilltop. Rosita is going to be kind of just getting medical attention. Father Gabriel is going to be worried about Rosita. And then we're going to see Eugene get rescued in the barn by Daryl, Aaron, and Jesus and Dog. Dog finds basically Eugene where he is. And Daryl and Dog kind of split up to kind of lead the herd away, but it doesn't work. And the Whisperers are going to be introduced in a very interesting way. I don't know what's going to happen the back half of season 9 potentially. I know some things. I know we're going to see some pretty cool stuff. We're going to see some pretty badass stuff. It's supposed to be a very creepy episode tonight. And I'm excited to see a little horror aspect back to it. Big Sexy, do you think Father Gabriel is trustworthy? I think so. I think Father Gabriel's okay. I think he's got an agenda that he's worried about Rosita, and he mistakenly leaves the jail cell open, which is kind of dumb. But Janet, Q&A, Brian, do you think some of the Oceanside group could have already been dead by the hand of the Whisperers? I don't know. That's a great question. A lot of people ask about Oceanside, but I don't know the answer because we haven't seen really anyone from Oceanside at Hilltop or whatever. I would think Oceanside is still there. Will we see them more and more and more? I don't know. That would be cool of an introduction to see who's still alive there. Little time jump, so some of those actresses could be a little older, like Rachel and a couple people like that. But, Cindy should be running Oceanside, and maybe there was something to do with the X or something to do with the Saviors and something to do with repercussions after killing a rot. And I don't know. And I don't know why this person is spamming the chat with the same dumb question. So let me just get rid of this person. And I don't know why people would come here to just spam stuff. It's like, what are you doing? Just the same people. I dislike the same people. I don't know why watch my videos just to dislike them in the first 30 seconds or a minute. That there's always like 3 or 4 people that just dislike them. I don't know. Really, that's what someone wants to do with their time. But out there too. Ryden Williams, Q&A, Brian, do you think Jerry will die this season? If you know, when do you think he will die? Well, I believe he makes it all the way to the finale of the season. Not the mid-season finale, the finale, the season 9, episode 16. And we'll see what happens. We don't know. That's the big thing where a lot of people don't know who are in the know about the spoilers and the things that are going down for the back half of season 9. And I don't want to give too much away there, but it's going to be pretty awesome because the back half of season 9 will be very Whisper involved. But the finale will be a big event that'll be kind of another, not a cliffhanger, but like a WTF moment. Like, what is happening? What just happened? What did I just see? And then boom, we gotta wait until the summer goes over because we'll be filming, and then season 10 in October. So we'll have to wait a lot of that stuff on there too. But I think season 9 is great. I've been very excited about it, and it's lived up to the hype. Surpassed a couple things, been a little weird. And I know a lot of people didn't like last week's episode. They said it was kind of slow, but because I did the live stream before the episode aired. So let's talk about 907 a little bit. Directed by Michael Cutlitz, who I think did a great job. For his first time directing, I thought the episode was entertaining. I thought it was cool when you see Rosita. You see that. You see a couple things. They answered a couple questions. They posed a couple more questions here and there. You found out about Daryl and Carol and Henry. And it was kind of interesting to see what they're setting up for the rest of the season. Michael Cutlitz did a good job. He didn't write the episode. He directed the episode. A lot of people were like, oh, it's kind of boring, and it was kind of this, and it was kind of slow, and it was kind of, But not every episode is going to be action-packed and this and that and crazy and stuff, explosions and all that there too. It was story-driven. It was definitely set up some things and had a nice little moments. And it was cool to see Carol and Daryl back again, and Carol, helping Daryl out. And we saw Dog and met Dog, and we saw Hilltop, and we saw some things. We're going to see some cool stuff. So some other people are posing the question, will Sadiq and Michonne get together? And I don't know why people would ask that, because I don't really see them having a love interest. A lot of people didn't even see Rick and Michonne having a love connection there too. But, Zombie Apocalypse or Father Gabriel and Rosita, some people didn't even see that. But I just think that the writers are going to do what the writers are going to do, and they're going to make decisions for the story. And I hope that it makes sense for everybody to be entertained. That's all. Janet, Brian, do you think Rosita will be captured tonight? I don't think so. I don't think anybody gets captured. I don't know where that came from. Some person had a theory or something there too. No one gets captured. I mean, the Whisperers don't capture, Rosita and Eugene and take them back with them. They kind of they'll take Henry, I believe, is what happens. Not in this episode, but I think that they're going to have something to do with that. I know that doesn't happen in this episode, I believe, but I think that's more of a realistic thing. Who will get captured is Henry, because of the Lydia connection with Carl and Lydia is going to be Henry and Lydia now. And I think it's pretty cool that we're going to have the comic Whispers coming to the show with some remixes on there too. And I personally don't mind Henry, older Henry. I think Matt Lintz is a pretty good actor. I kind of bought into him a little bit, being Henry. And, he's naive. He's been kind of sheltered in the kingdom with Ezekiel and not really being in touch with reality. And Carol is taking him to Hilltop because he wanted to learn blacksmithing, but also to meet people and other groups and other that, and kind of to learn the way of the worlds. Because if Henry gets killed, or Henry has a problem, or Henry gets captured, or it's going to really mess with Carol, because Carol is an ipso facto, de facto parent to Henry, and that's going to be another thing. If she can't protect Henry, I don't know what would happen if Henry goes down, because Carol is losing kids and finding a bond with Lizzie and Minka, and then they get killed off, and it's just kind of crazy to see that too, on there too. Nightmare Files. What if Negan and Maggie got together at some time? I don't know. Some people are saying that they would want Negan and Michonne to get together. I don't think Negan's going to have another love interest. If anything, if we see anything like that, it may be Negan and Alpha kind of thing. If you know the comics, you know what I'm talking about there. But I think Maggie, and hopefully you've seen the awesome art that Freakish Order did on Instagram for the Maggie Pamela Milton kind of scenario theory picture fan art of Maggie being the ruler, dictator, female governor of the Commonwealth. I love the artwork. I think the artwork is awesome, and I had to talk about it. And there's always people like, that was dumb, theories are dumb, this and that. But I think it's pretty cool. I don't see Negan and Maggie getting. I don't see Negan really having another romantic relationship too. But whatever happened to his wives? I don't know what happened with them. That's kind of an interesting question. So. Jacob, happy holidays, bride. Can't wait for tonight's episode. Hopefully it's as epic as the first half of season 9. Just wanted to say what's up to the PT peeps out there. Enjoy tonight's episode. Well, thank you, Jacob. That's very awesome for you for the super chat and Nightmare Files as well. But yes, happy holidays for those who celebrated the Thanksgiving. And then if you celebrate, Christmas, or another holiday coming up in December. Holidays are upon us. I think it's a great time of the year. I love fall into winter. My birthday's in winter, and then Christmas, and I celebrate Christmas. So Christmas is good, but the holidays, whatever you celebrate, are around that time too. And it's just a good time of the year. And it's going to suck because The Walking Dead is going to be off, but we're still going to be making videos. We'll still be doing live streams on the Sundays. We'll be having plenty of videos. I got some notes down. We'll be trying to do videos, maybe not every day, but we'll be having more and more videos, each week, and we'll continue with that for sure. Mike 35, do you think you would be a leader? Me there? I don't know. What are we talking about, Mike? In the zombie apocalypse? I don't know. I kind of see myself as a leader a little bit, potentially. It depends who we're leading, who we are. I kind of would be, with a smaller group myself on there. And, if you read my book series, Fight for Us, it's kind of the main character. It's kind of my thing. Just loosely based on myself, my family, my friends on there too. It's a fictional tale. I mean, it's not all real, of course, like that. Some of the things are loosely based on my friends' lives and my life too. But yeah, I see myself as a leader in a fictional tale for that too, especially with the right people around there. It's not to be a leader, it's who's around you too. You can have the best coach in the world, but if you don't have the players to make plays, it's not going down too. Rick hasn't always made the best decisions. If you look back, Rick's decisions weren't always right. And that's what Daryl and them kind of had a problem with, too. The whole savior thing was a dividing line. And it was just interesting to see that, too. But, Daryl has done a lot for Rick's life, group, family, people. And without someone like that keeping people alive, it wouldn't be so good. The leadership wouldn't be so great on there, too. It doesn't matter if you're leading well. You got to make players. Big-time players make big plays in big games, kind of same thing. And a zombie apocalypse would be the same thing, too. So what you got here? Dr. Smarty Pants. Great name. You inspired me. Q&A. You inspired me to write my own books. I want to write a Game of Thrones-esque fantasy series. Well, that's not a Q&A. That's just a statement, Dr. Smarty Pants. Well, that's great. That's what I want to do. I want to inspire, motivate, and get people out doing things. You take a chance, do something on there too. That's always fun to do, and have a good time doing it. And, you can have a game-changing life. That's what YouTube and this community and, my spiel and motto is all about. Jordy Q&A, Brian in the comics, Sophia and Carl were like a thing. If Henry takes the Carl Sophia and ends up with Lydia, who will be the jealous Sophia? Well, I don't really know if Sophia and Carl were like a thing. They kind of were, but they kind of weren't. They were kind of like friends. But Carl and Lydia, Sophia got jealous about it on there too. Well, Enid is comic Sophia. Enid is replacing Sophia. Enid's a doctor on there, but Enid's with Alden. So there's all these little different things on there too. And I don't want an exact replica of the comic for the show. I like the remixes. I like the differences on the show. And we're going to get some differences for sure. Season 9 has been a lot of differences. And I like that, but it's also a little much at the same time. Because if you're a comic purist, you're like, why can't Negan curse? Why can't you do this? Why can't that happen? Who's that? But I like the idea of having Jerry, Daryl, Merle, Tara, Simon, all the different things for the show that aren't in the comic. And it's pretty cool to see what it is for, going forward on the show that's for that. I would love to have little remixes or even things just for the show. And we've had them, not all of them exactly to a T. And I do like the differences on the show because if you're a comic purist, you're like, well, in the comic they do this, in the comic they do this, and you kind of know what the show's going to be. They're going to show you twists and turns. They're going to make twists and turns and remixes to keep you guessing, and they're not writing the show and producing The Walking Dead for fan service. They're not trying to do an exact replica of the comic for the show, So that's kind of cool in there too. Nightmare Files back again. My wife hates when I listen to the spoilers. Well, I'm sorry about there on there too. I'm not a big fan of ruining stuff for people that don't want to know. That's why I always put the spoiler warning up on there too. I'm not a big fan of people having, being ruined for stuff on there. And I learned that from the past on there too. So hold on, let me just patrol the chat here and here too. People are cursing at each other and stuff, and not a big fan of that, Allie. You're not going to curse at someone on there too. That's not cool. I don't like people being disrespectful and being bullies, cyberbullying, and here or anywhere else. I got no rule for that. I got zero tolerance for that. I will shut that down for sure. But, trying to have fun here. That's all we're doing. It's a discussion on there too. So I like talking about theories and discussions on there. I like having the idea of having an idea that comes up on the show or something on the show, and we scrutinize it. We break it down. And scrutinizing it has it has a negative connotation to it. But to me, it's just looking into it thoroughly, investigating it a little bit more, if you will. And I like to read that about the show and look into it and talk about it and discuss it and have theories on there too. And that's what this channel is all about. So I'm very excited to have an awesome community and group of yourself joining me today. Pretty much everybody in here, besides, I don't know, people are usually just are respectful and nice, and that's what we should have here. We're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, and people like the show for different reasons, but I just don't think you should be disrespecting someone else on there too. So thank you guys for the compliments and on there too. Even though I have two eyes, yes, I have two eyes. It's a nickname, so let me talk about that for a second on there too. So I had this channel a while ago, and I don't know when I started, it's coming up on 4 years ago. And I was like, hey guys, Brian back from the PT channel to talk about this, or I forget how my intro actually went. It's definitely changed and was different over time. But it was pretty cool to think about. A subscriber was like, hey man, my wife and I, we watch your channel every video, and I'm excited for when you talk and this. And when your intro is there, I call you One Eye Bry from season 4 of The Governor, basically. So I talked to him, and he reached out to me with a comment, and I thought it was a good way to do that. So I didn't come up with the nickname. I thought it was pretty cool and interesting my name is Brian, and David Morrissey was Philip originally. as governor. And then when he changed his name, when he met Tara and her family, he changed his name to Brian. And when he talked with the soldiers and they were going out and they were like, yeah, it was like, oh, Bri, we don't know if he's winking. One-Eye Bri, we don't know if he's winking or he's blinking. So I think it's pretty cool to, hold on, there's a couple people here, to have that nickname because a subscriber and a PT peep of mine, which is, my fun name for my subscribers, I like to have, fun with it. So One-Eye Bri, I have 2 eyes. My name is Brian, and One-Eye Bri, winking or blinking, is kind of my intro now, and it's kind of evolved over times for sure. But shout out. So I just shout out Chad Linton. So, man, this guy Lewis is still being here. So hold on, let me just get rid of this person here. He's probably a troller from probably another channel. I don't know. There's been a rash of that going around where we just get along from the Walking Dead community over there too. And I preach community because that's the way we all thrive and on there too. So I guess Louis Giovanni there too is got a problem with life or something on there too. Now it's going through that he's getting blocked. But just no need to be disrespectful to me or anyone in here on there too. That dude's a bully, probably lives in his mom's basement or something and just likes to talk trash from the middle of nowhere because it's just, that's what the internet has turned into. Troll city on there too. So, and just people can do all that too. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, Jen, it was just kind of sluggish on the thing. So I think he's blocked now and I got no problem blocking people. At first you're like, you try to work with people and talk with people and you're like, hey, well, why are you like cursing at me and being all this? And then there's just no getting around it where some people are just like just hating life. So then if they're hating life, they're gonna bring that hate towards you. Yo boy Odom, you think Rick will die in the movie? I don't think so. I think Rick Grimes can't die. I think Rick Grimes needs to stay alive and be that cash cow. So the plan right now is to have 3 movies with Rick. And he's not coming back on the television show, which sucks. But it's good that we're still going to get the Ricky Grimes story. And some people hate it when I call him Ricky Grimes. It's just funny. Rick Grimes will be in the movies. Who's going to be in the movies? Who's going to meet up with him? Who's going to be there? I think Rick's going to be in all 3 movies. And then they're going to go from there to see where it's at. The first movie is going to start filming next year. I think Andrew Lincoln does want to be a director. And I think that's going to be one of those big thing for him coming back to direct an episode and then be around there. And I think that Andrew Lincoln's going to be part of the Walking Dead universe going forward. Not on the show, but just on the movies. And it's going to be a thing because if it's in 3 years, they're going to have to film a movie and then it'll come out in 2020 and probably film a movie, come out in 2021, film a movie. Next one will be 2022. Will probably be the 3 movies. If it's not before that or if they film it or back-to-back movies in like one part of the year, end part of the year, because the movies wouldn't want to be, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to see what they want to do. But potentially, if they film a movie and it comes out the next year, we could have movies until 2022. So in like 4 years, we could still have the movies and then we'll have season 10 of The Walking Dead next year. So we got big things going in the universe. And I don't know if people are watching as much as they used to, if the ratings are low, if they're definitely not high. They're definitely not, 11 million, 12 million like they used to be for season 4 and 5. But, people probably aren't watching as much, and that's okay. And I like the idea of, The Walking Dead mixing it up a little bit, and maybe they take a break and they keep it rolling as long as it's good quality content for sure. So let me I gotta highlight this for unemployed. Please answer before losing a potential customer. What's that? Q&A. Seriously, Bri, how can your cat survive a zombie apocalypse and you expect your books to be taken serious? Just like a dog in the wild, bro. How can you think that a wild dog would survive in a zombie apocalypse? That doesn't make sense, right? Well, a house cat or 2 house cats that stay indoors in a community that's gated, that has security measures, in a house that has hurricane windows that won't be broken, that the cats are indoor, why wouldn't they survive on there too? So take you seriously? That doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Just that. There you go. Hold on. Let's block another person here. We got some people. I don't even want to utter the names of people, give them anything that are disrespectful, because it's just nonsense. They just want attention on there too. And I guess I get baited into doing it because I'm going to stick up for myself, and it's just annoying on there too. So sorry, it's being a little sluggish with what we got here. But Nightmare Files. My channel has nothing to do with The Walking Dead, but I watched you way before I started, and you are a huge reason why I started my own channel. Thanks. Well, good, Nightmare Files. That's what I want. I'm glad that you don't have to be a Walking Dead channel to do that on there too. I watch other channels. I watch, Watch Mojo and, Cinemasker and a couple stuff on there too. I watch other channels for YouTube. I love YouTube, My wife got me into YouTube looking at music videos and stuff and songs, and that was a good way to do that, to listen to music on there. And then I watch video gameplay. I watch, Dude Perfect. I watch a bunch of different things on there too. So if you want to start a YouTube channel, it's a little tough on there now because YouTube is making it harder and harder on there too, to get monetization and to weed out the people who don't want to do it. But as I say in every one of my videos, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. So you need hard work, dedication. You got to believe in yourself, and you have to sacrifice stuff to get it done. You have to put time, energy, and effort into anything you want to do in life too. It's definitely a cool thing on there too. So yeah. Unemployed, you can ask whatever you want. You can do whatever you want on there too, as long as it's respectful on there too. But you sound like a person that doesn't want to read my book series. You're already hating my book series before you even read it or anything there. So I'm not sure if it'll be a good thing for you, because if you're going to go in with a negative approach already, it probably won't be satisfactory to you. And I want people that want to read the book series and to understand what it is and to be a part of that. And it's also getting a part of my life and a fictional tale for that too. So if you like what we do here, you like myself, you like the channel, and you like Zombie Apocalypse, you'll hopefully like my Zombie Apocalypse book series titled Fight For Us. I just lowered the prices for Black Friday, and I'm going to keep it there. And I'm going to have every book launch when I set the price, and I talk with the publisher and everything on there too. It's going to probably be $11.99 or $10.99. So probably on there too, it'll be on there, lower the price a little bit so more people can get out there and buy it, because they were a little expensive. And I'm not making tons of money selling the books. I'm actually making, a very small percentage of it, because they have to print it and they have to do this and they have to do that. I only get a percentage of that with the prices too. So as being an independent publisher and all that, it makes sense. But again, it's a good way to support the channel and hopefully be a part of it. And you can get the book series outside the United States. I know there is Amazon, I guess Europe, their version of it. I don't know what it is, but I know also there's a couple of different areas that have through Amazon with it. But if you can order stuff through Amazon, you can get my book series. And I know a lot of people ask me that questions, because my publisher is through an Amazon company, a subsidiary of them, a smaller company. And it's an Amazon company does the idea of it. So there, man, people are just spamming this chat left and right. I guess that's what happens when you get kind of bigger on there too. The haters come out. And then people just type random weird stuff on there too. So, but yeah, I know exactly on there. I am. It's just funny there, M King, my M King, and my other friends that have been here for a while. I appreciate you guys taking the time. So, The Walking Dead is coming on tonight, episode 908. I don't have a link to it. I'm not going to live stream. I'm not going to do any of that. I'll be watching it tonight, and I'm going to watch The Talking Dead on there too. Brian, where can you purchase one of Unemployment's books? I'm not sure. I think in the unemployment office. I don't know, but I'm excited for the idea of The Walking Dead to continue on for many more seasons. I know some people are hating on The Walking Dead. I don't know why they come to a channel. It doesn't make sense. Oh my God. It's ridiculous a cat can survive and still be a pet. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that too? Do you think you don't think animals would survive a zombie apocalypse on there too? You just want answers. Why don't you read the book series and you'll get answers? That's what happens on there too. Andre, Brian, do you think it's possible for babies who are born after the apocalypse to be immune? Well, again, immunity is the thing that Robert Kirkman does not want to do. He does not want The Walking Dead to turn into a cure or a coma thing. He is an idea that his idea was, if you watch Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, all that stuff too, if you watch the end of the movie, you watch say you watch Dawn of the Dead, and then you watch the very end of the movie, and then it concludes, and then you're like, well, what still happens with them? What happens with these people? It's one of those things that Robert Kirkman wrote the Walking Dead comic all about, and I'm all on board for that. I love that idea, and immunity is a thing that could be in there too, because again, the Walking Dead or any zombie apocalypse is fictional. It's science fiction. Zombies aren't realistic, because if you kill something with blood supply, if someone doesn't have blood supply, especially in the human body, it's going to turn necrotic and break down. So theoretically, if you chopped off a zombie's leg, the blood would come out and he would bleed out, and there would be no blood to stop him. So the zombie should die. It doesn't have to be a brain strike or a head strike or a brainstem strike or whatever. The blood would run out, and then tissues would die, so that the zombie wouldn't walk anymore. You're not going to have a bone zombie either, because the muscle tissue is how you walk. Bones don't make you walk. They're structural support, like legs to a table. Basically the same thing on there too. So the idea of zombies aren't realistic, but an immunity thing is pretty interesting too. And I like the idea of possibly having immunity. I think the idea is having, the Walking Dead be the idea of a zombie apocalypse tale. Some of it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, it's one of those things that just won't make sense because it's science fiction. And that's where you had to have an escape for it on there too. And sometimes you can be hard on the show, and sometimes you can too. But at the end of the day, it's a zombie apocalypse show that we love, and you love the characters. Too. My favorite character is Michonne, and I buy into the universe because you feel for these people. You're in that person. You've seen these people from day one, and we're losing so many characters. We're losing people that have been around since the first episode, the first season, the second season, the third season, and like Maggie Ree's not going to be on season 9 for the rest of the season. She's not coming back. We'll probably have references to her, maybe some letters and some notes from the twins. And hopefully you guys understand when Jesus was saying the twins, it's the two women that were with Georgie. They're twin girls, and they came by and dropped a letter off to Georgie. Maggie is with Georgie in some community that they're helping set up. I believe, Herschel was taken by Maggie. But I did hear rumors that we're going to have twins that were going to play Herschel when they were filming, but I guess not. So I that's probably wrong information. But again, it's not 100%, taken, because the information from Spoiling Dead fans and, a bunch of spoiler sites, there's a couple of different spoiler sites, not just one, but there are some other spoiler sites, and the information isn't always 100% confirmed to be 100% positive. It's highly likely to occur. Just like when we saw Judith the first time. They said she was going to have Carl's hat and a shotgun. She didn't have a shotgun. She had a katana, which we haven't seen her use yet. We got to get her using that katana a little bit. And Rick's gun. So that was a little different. But if you look at some other facts and some other things and some other that and some other posts, that's what people were going with. But I'm understanding that The Walking Dead is back again to me. I'm excited for it. Hopefully you are too. And if you're here in this chat, you're probably excited for the mid-season finale. So we're going to see Mr. Negan this episode. Are you excited for that? I don't know. I think that Negan being minimal role, small role, being, jailed up, locked up, I think that it's been good. Minimal Negan, less Negan has been good for the series. And you cannot lie, unless you are a Negan fan, that you don't think, maybe you can. I would think that The Walking Dead is back. Season 9 is great. I think that The Walking Dead is a great show again. Every episode has been good, if not great. And I'm thinking that The Walking Dead is going to be getting better and better and better. And I hope Negan doesn't bring it down again. We're not going to have the Negan-Rick dynamic. I don't think that the Negan storyline is going to be what it was. Negan is not running the Saviors. I wonder if that's going to be a possibility again, too, because if you remember Jed said that the sanctuary fell. Jed is gone. Regina is gone. Arat is gone. DJ is at Alexandria. Laura is at Alexandria. Who could run the sanctuary? And some people are like, Madison could, or Alicia could. I guess they could, but they're not. There's no Fear the Walking Dead, connection yet. Maybe in season 10, maybe season 11 if we get that. But, we're not going to have that on there too. So we'll see what happens with The Walking Dead going forward. What's going to happen with Dwight and Sherry? Hopefully we get answers. A lot of people are confused what happened to Dwight, and I think that he is going to be a character that should come back. Should he run the sanctuary on there too? So, yeah, I want to give Unemployed one more chance on there too. We'll see if he lives up to it. Hopefully he just learns to not really distract people and just post questions about something that he should just read. maybe he should just read the books on there too. So, yeah, Janet, I don't know. That's a good question. So, Brian, does Gabriel just forget to lock Negan's cell? I guess so, because if you watch, they had the sneak peek where you see Father Gabriel babysitting Negan, and he's there to clean the bedpan, and he's worried about Rosita, and he gets pissed at Negan, and Negan kind of asks him about what's going on, and it's kind of it's a heated discussion. Father Gabriel's like, look, every time you came here, and every time it's just this, and on there too, it's just an interesting thing that Father Gabriel is going to be the reason why Negan escapes, because I believe he doesn't lock the jail cell. That's just kind of what it is on there too. So, yeah, I'll look into that, M. King, about moderation. I'm having a moderator on here too, that's for sure. I'll have to look into how to do that. But, yeah, it's just people spamming and just being a pain in the butt. So, but when in doubt, guys, just, don't get caught up with people getting there. Yeah, Jed got fired. He got fired up, But either way, guys, hopefully you guys are enjoying The Walking Dead Season 9, the chat, the channel, all that stuff. I'm excited for it. But, yeah, Father Gabriel, maybe he didn't see him lock it, maybe his eye, he thought he locked it, but he was just, no. But I don't know. The idea that Father Gabriel just doesn't lock the jail cell is like, what the heck, It's just like, what are you doing with that? That's kind of lazy writing. I guess they were like, okay, we don't want to have Judith, let Negan out because we won't like people to like Judith. And who could be the scapegoat to let Negan out, and how would that be? And they're like, oh, we'll just have Father Gabriel let him out. Boom, problem solved. We'll see if it makes sense, and we'll see how it is on the show, because words are words, and we see what happens, and reading about the episode versus seeing it is a little different on there too. So we'll see how it goes down. Ron Anderson in the building, the ghost of Ron Anderson. Q&A, Brian, what do you think happened between Michonne and Hilltop? I don't know. That's a great question. And I believe Angela Kang said that we're going to find out about the X's on Michonne and Daryl's back. Hopefully we're going to find out why the people of Hilltop do not want Michonne there. I think Michonne is going to be a character that's going to be the co-lead, if not a very big part of the show for a long time. So her dynamic with Hilltop and Diane and Carol, and we'll see the problem with Carol because Ezekiel, they're making a big deal about the festival and the fair. And it's interesting to see that The Walking Dead being kind of a civil war again still. That's not going to go away just yet. Michonne and Rick were on one side, Maggie and Daryl were on the other. So is that still going on? I guess it never really went away over there too. But what happened with Michonne and Maggie? Because Diane was a Hilltop Kingdom person, and I guess she was Team Maggie, and something happened with them for sure. But why does Daryl and Michonne have an X? Why do they both have it? Because if Michonne was Team Rick and Daryl was Team Maggie, why do they both have it? I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to see on there too. So, but we got, I love when people Whereas Q&As and it's just not pertaining to anything. But, what do you think about Henry having Carl's storyline, Gina Marie? I think it's all right. I think Henry is growing on me like a fungus. No, I think Henry is doing a better job. Older Henry. You can't replace Carl, but I think it's something that can be pretty good for it. So let me see what you got. People are asking some good. What you have here? Yeah, people are asking some good questions, and then some questions that don't make sense for The Walking Dead. But overall, tonight's episode is going to be 64 minutes, so it's not extended, a big deal. It's only 4 extra minutes. So hopefully we'll see, a little more extended episodes, especially in the back half, especially when the Whispers and Lydia and Alpha and Beta come around. I really want to see what's going on with that. Good questions here. Travis, question. What spinoffs do you want to see other than Here's Negan? I don't know. I always thought we could see a Hilltop thing, but jumping back and forth with that, because we already had a time jump to go back and time jump. The Negan thing for sure. I don't know, but the biggest thing is probably just the Negan thing. I don't know what else would make sense for it. Mike 35. How old is Henry? I believe 17, 18. I think he's definitely later teens for it. Jordan Nagiri. Q&A. Do you think Beta will pick up Daryl and throw him like a football? Titans reference intended. I don't know. I want to see Beta. I don't know who Beta's going to fight. Probably Negan versus Beta. Everybody wants to see. I know I do. I want to see what happens with that, and I want to see some epic fights for sure. Michaela Stockbauer, Q&A. Brian, what do you think of doing a kind of Walking Dead discussion channel? It's tough to have 2 channels. I have a Walking Dead news channel, and it's tough to start up a channel now with just running it and that and to be found. So it's hard to start up something there too. I don't know, possibly down the road I could have just a Walking Dead related channel, even though this channel is pretty much Walking Dead related stuff. Andre, Q&A. Brian, was Heath an A or a B? I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out. Hopefully we'll see. Well, because if Rick was a B, I don't have an A, I have a B. I never had an A. And maybe Rick, maybe she lied. Maybe Rick is actually an A, but then he was wounded, and maybe that status changed or whatever. And maybe Heath was a B, so then Rick was taken to the B section, the Bs. So maybe Heath will be there. I would like to see Heath be in the first movie. That's a loose end. You know how we feel about loose ends. We don't want any plot holes. We want to see for sure. Angie Kinley, Q&A. During one of the sneak peeks for this episode tonight, Michonne says to Sadiq that at least Hilltop is alive to hate her. What do you think that means? I don't know. Something big happened there. Something big happened with Hilltop. I don't know. Maybe Oceanside or something. We're going to find out. Or we better find out, right? Because we don't want to know. We want to find out what's going on, what's happening with all this stuff. Because I got questions. Hopefully The Walking Dead's got answers. And we want to know it's there too. MK Q&A, what chapter are you writing? I believe I'm on chapter 11 in my book. The next book is titled Settlement, and yeah, I think it's. I know I finished chapter 9 or 10, and I believe I started chapter 11 as well. So I wrote 2 chapters yesterday, and I'm very excited about the next book. I'm just trying to write it all up, and then I'm going to rough draft it, and then edit it, and then I'll go through it again. For sure. So, Manimals Mayo Sandwich Q&A. Brian, do you think Rosita will get pregnant? I don't know. I don't know if they want to do that. Because we had the whole Gracie thing and Judith, Herschel, potentially RJ. You know how I feel about that, if RJ's going to be there. But she could. But are we going to get the comic connection for it there too? Yeah, I know, M. King, waiting on the book. I know. I'm really going to I'm going to push to get it done right by February, before the Walker Stalker Cruise. The end of February will be my goal for sure. But I don't know what's going on here in the chat. People are saying they're banning people like that. Ryan McCabe, Q&A. Brian, how come we haven't seen Oceanside? I don't know. That's a good question. If we haven't seen Oceanside, are they still around? Are they still alive? Will we see that be a part of Hilltop's battle and problem? The Saviors or something? I think something happened with the Saviors because of the Saviors. DJ, Laura, and my guy Jimmy are at the Alexandria with Michonne. And they're nowhere else. You don't see any other savior at the Kingdom or Hilltop. By my recollection, I don't believe that too. So I know that it's definitely pretty cool for it. So, well, I think there's something to do with Oceanside and the saviors potentially being a problem with Hilltop, and hopefully we'll get those answers there. Boyd Crowder, since we never saw Madison die, do you think she could possibly be staying at the place that Jadis took Rick to? Well, I talked about Madison on Facebook earlier today and yesterday. Madison is gone. Madison died. Fear the Walking Dead did a really crappy job of having Madison die, and we saw it, and she did this. Madison is dead. Madison, played by Kim Dickens, was on Talking Dead at the end of the mid-season for Fear the Walking Dead last season. And she confirmed that she was gone. The writers confirmed that she was dead. But again, Fear the Walking Dead, being Fear the Walking Dead that it is, doesn't really answer questions and doesn't really do a great job with that. But Madison is gone, so that is not going to happen. I'm wrapping up Sons of Anarchy. I have 2 more episodes left. And Sons of Anarchy has several characters from Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead. So it's pretty interesting there too. So, and it's very interesting that so many characters have been there. The first showrunner of Fear the Walking Dead was an executive producer or a co-executive producer, Dave Erickson from Sons of Anarchy. And it's interesting that there's been such crossover on there too. And I just don't like the idea of Madison and where they started with it. I like season 3, and I kind of wish that Jeremiah Otto, who played Wayne Unser on Sons of Anarchy, I wish that was the family that we followed from the start of the series. I wish we met Troy and the brother and the mom and the this and the that at the ranch. I wish that was the start of the series. But, they did what they did, and it doesn't make, but we have Opie coming to Walking Dead, Beta in the back half of season 9. I doubt we're going to see him tonight. I don't think that's going to make sense on there too. Sorry, Christy Allen, I don't know what your question is. I can go back a little bit, but if I don't see it, sorry, people are asking a lot of questions, and people are a lot of this, and then spamming. So not intentionally not answering your question. I don't see it. But if you ask your question in the next 8 minutes, I will answer it. So I'll do some Q&A here and just focus on the chat. If you want to do a super chat, I would definitely, it draws focus to it. So I don't know. Sorry on there for sure. So we have a person talking about flat earther, flat reality on there too. So not sure why you're in a Walking Dead chat, but that's what people do. So this person's going to get boop, hide user. Doesn't make sense for you to be here, but that's funny. M King Q&A. Okay, spoilers for tonight episode. So the spoilers for tonight, I got them in a whole video for it. If you want to break that down and check it out, it says spoilers on there with Negan on the thumbnail. Jordan M. Gear, do you think Beta will be watered down like Jesus? I don't think so. I mean, he's got to be, the gore's got to be watered down somewhat, but Beta's presence, the actual size of him, his demeanor can be pretty good. I think Beta can be awesome. I'm hoping that Ryan Hurst has the ability to do a good job. I have faith in him because I love the idea of him coming to the show, and he's been really, really great so far. So, yeah, we're going to get rid of this. You mentioned that channel, and you mentioned that thing here. You're going to get... See you later. Yeah, don't mention that person's channel on here. That's for sure. And you're probably just saying it as a reference, but nah, man. Not playing that game. How long will tonight's episode be? It'll be 64 minutes. It'll be, 64 minutes total runtime, so probably 40 some minutes, actually episode of it. So, what do we got here? Timo Dixon, hey PT, did you read one of my comments from the last video? Sorry, my bad English. By the way, I'm German. Not sure, maybe. I'm not sure. Are you the one that has information or something you're trying to get a hold of me on there too? But if you're trying to get a hold of me, you can do a private message. You can do something there too, and I can see it directly. I do read private messages on, different things. Some people have questions and pictures and information, so I can definitely get a hold of that. Nightmare Files, comic Walking Dead or current Walking Dead? I guess you're asking what's better. I like the comic from like a general standpoint of the series, but I do love season 9 so far. And season 6 to me is the favorite season. And I said this before to a couple people, like season 6 is my favorite season. Then I think season 5 is pretty awesome. So I would rank my top 3 are 6, 5, and then number 3 is up for grabs right now. The way season 9 is going, it could be my 3rd place right now. I think it could definitely be up there. I'm excited for that potential for sure. Manimal's Mayo Sandwich. Q&A, Brian, do you think we will see Negan escape from his cell this episode? Yes, we will definitely see Negan escape. Not sure where he goes. I would assume he's going to look for Lucille. And we'll see if Lucille's actually still there. I don't know if Michonne... Do you think Michonne lied to Negan that they didn't take Lucille? That the bat was still there? What if the Whispers have Lucille? What if a random savior has Lucille? What if the White has Lucille? I don't know. There's all these questions. I would think Negan's going to go back to the tree in that field to look for Lucille because the bat means a lot to Negan, as we know. Q&A, Brian, do you think The Walking Dead will have a character either same or better skill level than Jesus after his death? I hope so because I like Jesus. You know, my favorite comic character is Jesus and my favorite TV character is Michonne. And I like a hybrid of those characters. You know, that's kind of what I like for it. So I like the idea that we will have a character like that at some point. I'm not sure if we will. What if Aaron learned all these skills from Jesus and he becomes like the Rick look from the comic and he's also a badass fighter like Jesus and he's kind of been watered down a little bit on there too. So hopefully Christy Allen, I see your question here. QA, do you think that when Negan escapes, he will kill people or will he have changed after his time in the cell? I think Negan gets away. If Negan's got to run into somebody to get away, he'll kill them to get away. But I don't think Negan's going to be Lucilleing anybody or doing that, except for, you know, if they do the big thing from the comics, you know what happens with Negan. And I hope that happens, but I don't think he's going to be, you know, a psychopath killing people again on there too. So, what you have, Janet, on there. Brian, do you think Alpha will have Rick's red machete? I hope so. I would love to see that. I would love to see a little full circle thing, just like, you know, Janet, my idea with Eric's face. I would love to see that too. I think it's pretty cool too. Yeah, I would love to see Rick's machete show up again. That would be pretty awesome. If there's little full circle connections, I would love to see that too. Timo Dixon, when you stop the teaser for episode 8 at the right time, you can see Jesus fighting a walker who's holding a gun. Did you see that? It's hard to see because of the fog and the way the camera angle on there too, but clearly Jesus is fighting Whispers. And Jesus is going to go down because of the Whispers. And I think he's going to underestimate the walkers and the Whispers, and they don't know about the Whispers. Again, the walkers, they just think they're walkers. They don't think there are people in there too, but they're going to find out that there's people dressed up as walkers, and they're going to be like, what is going on with this? So I think that's pretty interesting to see, and I think it's a possibility. Q&A, Brian, do you agree with my theory that tension between Michonne and Hilltop has something to do with the laws she made a conflict that evolved after Rick's death? Oceanside got punished. Could be. That's a good theory, Michaela. I think that's a possibility of the democracy, the laws, Michonne's way, Maggie's way, who's this, Hilltop, what should happen, because Michonne and Maggie and Daryl saw a rat get killed, and they let it happen. What if Michonne was like, that's unacceptable. That cannot happen on there too. And I don't know. It's just so many things can happen. We're going to have to see what the writers want to do. I think what's going to happen. Hectorito in the house. Have a nice weekend, y'all. You too, Hector. But I'm going to go for a couple more minutes, guys. So like I said, ask some questions, super chats, live chats, anything like that. Post them up. I would definitely get to them on there too. So I'm not sure if we're going to see Alpha tonight. J Geek, the word is potentially we could not. The latest spoilers did not confirm that we will see her, but I know some people are hoping that we will, and I know I would love to, but I think the big thing will be the very end when a group of people get kind of surrounded by Whispers, and we'll see, what happens. And then we got to wait till February. Hopefully we get a nice trailer for what will happen in the second half of season 9. Hopefully we'll get to see Beta or something in the trailer. And we'll be breaking that down, of course. But we got a bunch of things going down for The Walking Dead second half. And we're going to have a bunch of videos for that. We'll be going on the Walker Stalker cruise. Got a lot of pretty cool stuff there. I'm going to answer a couple of these more questions, and then I'm going to cut it off. But Cooper Maxim, Maxim. Q&A, do you think Michonne will find Rick at the Commonwealth, not her daughter, like in the comics? I hope so. That was a cool theory that I would love to have. I would love to see that too, that Michonne and Judith. I think Rick, I think Jadis or something, I think the radio is going to play a big role of that. I think Father Gabriel is going to reach out to them and going to get someone over the radio, possibly Jadis, and be like, yeah, what's this? And they don't know, and they go there, and Michonne, I would assume Michonne goes there too, because in the comics, we meet Princess, there's Eugene, there's Michonne, there's Magna Yumiko. It's kind of cool that you see that potentially happen. You know, it's kind of interesting to see what happens with the group, and then Jesus and, you know, Aaron. So there's a lot of stuff that can go out on journeys and venture out. Well, I mean, Jesus won't, but we'll see potentially that could happen for it too. So, yeah, we'll keep doing. Will you keep doping videos and super chats? I'll keep making videos all the time. And if people want to, you know, support the channel, super chats are a good way to do it on there too. No, I definitely don't think Mav Loon 2000, clearly not, as he was in love with Michonne and Lori. Any more news on the X's? No, I don't know anything more on that. Hopefully we'll find out, but we will find out. That's the other thing that we do know. When does the 9B trailer come out? Probably after the episode. I would think after the mid-season finale is done. That should be, you know, giving you the heads up what's going on there too. So whatever happened to the hospital group full of police where Beth died? Well, that's during Atlanta. We don't know. Again, we're in D.C. now, so we don't know what happened there, and the time jumps were kind of crazy. Nightmare Files. What happened to Oceanside? I don't know. We don't know at all because we haven't seen them. Oceanside is a thing that a lot of people are asking questions about, and we just don't have an answer. I think that is a dividing line with Michonne and Maggie. And remember, Maggie and Daryl are the ones that saw them kill a rat. So they didn't do anything about it. Maybe Michonne got that information or something. The Saviors found out, because we didn't see what happened at the campsite too. Remember when Daryl went back to the campsite, Rick was bleeding and he got injured on the rebar. Carol, Jerry, and a couple people were there at the campsite, but then Jed, Regina, and a couple people, the girl, were there, and then the horse got away. We didn't really see what happened there. They showed you a little glimpse that Jed went to take the keys, Carol kicked his leg, and then a gunshot went off, and then we saw a couple of people that were walkers. Some stuff had to happen there. Something big deal had to happen for that, for sure. So let me see what I got for answers here. Nightmare Files is hitting up the super chat. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that on there as well. Thank you guys for posting videos on there and posting questions and comments and being involved with the channel. It means a lot to me. I thank you guys for taking the time for it, guys. But I got to cut it there. Thank you guys for taking the. Can you do your best Negan impression, please? And now I don't even know what to say when I'm like, what my impression of Negan would be. But thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it, for taking the time. This Sunday, September, November 25th, we are going to have tonight's episode of The Walking Dead is the last episode for the first half of season 9. And then hopefully we'll find out when it'll be back. Talking Dead tonight. I believe Robert Kirkman will be on Talking Dead to answer some questions. Probably Jesus will be on the Talking Dead. I believe the Talking Dead code is Jesus, so if you do TWD rewards, definitely check that out. But thank you guys for watching. I truly appreciate it. Remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.